Recording live from somewhere. It's the world famous TITT. It's home team in the motherfucking house.
No question.
It is I, Davis Backwards, and who state your name, gangsta?
Illmatic 365, aka the real is back. Yeah, baby, what's good?
Hey man, you already know. Before this, did you really know what live was?
They absolutely didn't, yo.
Yeah. Salute to everybody out there about to embark on this tape with us. We got some special shout outs that we always like to do. We got a really special shout out. I want to start the show by, we normally talk about affiliates and people that are family that we rock with, but we got kind of a bittersweet announcement that we want to make. Obviously, our brother DJ Rick G's was on episode 215, one of the most recent episodes of Tissue in the Tape.
Absolutely.
We had a chance to chop it up with him, catch up with him, and he gave us some insight as to what was going on, but he dropped the bomb even on us a little bit.
Yeah, man. Wasn't quite ready, but Rick G's DJ extraordinaire is now he's taking a step back from being the tour DJ and music director for Pusha T. He's going to focus on some of the other things that he has going on.
Turntable we talked about in the show.
Turntable Institute, working at 103 and doing that, doing
the parties.
doing more as a touring DJ and doing parties and events, hosting. So that's all that's going on. So like when he was talking, I was thinking to myself, like, man, G's gonna be mad busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he freed up some dates on the calendar.
Yeah.
Plus there's a couple other things that once he's ready to let those out, though we'll have him back on the hill talk about that. But there's going to be a lot in store for our brother, official Heat Holderz DJ Rick G's, Mr. Straight Fire himself. But
11 years on the job, man.
Yeah, man. And just for so people, because the first thing people automatically go to is there's tension, everything. Everybody's good. They're still cool. The split was I'm gonna break out my central words, amicable. I mean, so no, it's everything's still love like Venus. They just G's decided he wanted to advance some of his own things that he had going on. So
yeah,
there's that.
Salute to him. And for those that are just want to check out what DJ Rick G's is doing, you can check him out at djrickgs.com as well as at DJ Rick G's on all social platforms. Like Phil said, he's still doing 103 jams down in the 757. Of course, he has the Turntable Institute down in the 757. He has the various parties that he has a weekly residency with in the 757.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know he's Philly to the heart. So, man, salute to him. Salute to Pusha T. Salute to the Clip. Salute to whole Re-Up gang. And, most importantly, man, salute to everybody that's been holding, him and them down all through these years.
Absolutely.
We want to also give a shout out to Simulate Your Soul. Maggie Tra, what's up? We see you.
Yeah, man.
The whole Farside.tv crew, hip hoppreneur Cedric Muhammad, salute to him. Salute to Sky Daniels, Sky Torch Media. See her doing her thing out there in Houston. Salute to the homie.
We gotta have a homie on, man.
Gotta have him on soon. His B-sides 2 story is definitely one that the public needs to hear,
especially coming off the re-up of B-sides 1. Man, it could
Yeah.
Only he could top himself.
Only him.
Yo.
Only him. Of course, Italian Twine. Salute to Randy Williams, his whole family holding it down as well in the 757.
Absolutely.
John Appetit, Burton's doing their thing as well, extraordinarily as usual. And then also the War Room. You can check them out.
And
Thursday,
Vibe.
6 to 8. Yeah.
And Vibe. The native tongues have officially been reinstated.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
The War Room Sports Podcast Network is back in full effect.
Let's go.
Of course, we are a part of that. One of those podcasts on the network, along with Join Appetit, and of course, as Vibe was mentioning, the flagship show, The War Room, every Thursday
6 to 8. That's right.
Yes. Shout out to the Generals, B. Austin, Jimmy the Blueprint, and Dev. Look like you had to had to pay the piper today, yo.
Yeah, so this really quick story, everybody. San Antonio Spurs fan.
This is great.
Devin, who like Phil said, one of the generals from the War Room, his son, up and coming athlete, 7 years old, and right around that time when you really start to, I guess, make your predictions, so to speak, when it comes to certain things. And, you might feel a little, emboldened to put your money where your mouth is, because it's only money at that age. So I was just like, hey, Dev, your son, he said my team's going to lose to the Nuggets. Like, he must not know how this Spurs thing worked, man. Listen, tell him I got a 5 right here. I got the fever right here ready for him if he want to put up some
nickel
money. And he was just like, I'll check back with you and tell you what he says. So he was just like, he basically was just like, he'll take that bet immediately. Like, he was just like,
that's when you should have backed off, yo.
I was like, he knows something. 6 cents. So I was just like, all right, bet. So, obviously Spurs won the first game. I texted him. I was just like, he's cool, right? He does realize he's gonna lose his $5. He's just like, he's cool. So Spurs had the 19-point lead in game 2. I'm texting cats. They were just like, okay, he not sweating the game 2. I was like, all right, cool. Spurs ended up losing game 2, 1-1. Spurs win game 3. I'm feeling good about myself, and then Spurs lose the next 2. They end up winning game 6 to force a game 7, and end up losing by 4 points in game 7. So I had to pay the piper. So I sent him a nice little card, just wrote some words in there, sent him his $5, and he sent me a very dope video.
Yeah,
very, just a good, obviously good young man from a good family. His parents are raising him right, and anytime I can see that, especially when it comes to basketball, man, I know how important that can be sometimes to kids.
Yeah, man.
How it was when I was his age at 7. That was my life. So it was just awesome to be able to have that moment or whatever. But man, I kind of, for the bragging rights, I'm like double up, baby. But
he ain't let you rook him, yo.
Yeah, exactly. He said he ain't gonna rook us, but it was dope, and
man, the video was fired. I don't know how I missed that whole exchange, man. I must have.
It happened right as soon as like the season ended, and he was just like, here's what Chase thinks is gonna go down as far as the playoffs. So
I thought he was selling candy or something. And you bought some. I was about to send him a $5 too. Like, yo, I want to do my part. I was like,
that's dope. But
I know not to bet with him. He on the
he basically hit me with that, like where you straighten out the money. He was just like, good doing business.
Thank you, Mr. Savant.
Yeah, he's like, good doing business with you, man. So, but that's good though, man. I can't wait to do that with my sons, man. That kind of reminded me of something that I'm looking forward to. It's just good to just be able to just see kids mature, and
he like the Eagles, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you'll get him back in football.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Shout out to all my Eagle fans in the world.
Yeah, man.
We love y'all still.
No doubt. As always, again, we just give a shout out to everybody worldwide that's rocking with us.
Absolutely, man.
Phil, we got a lot to cover.
Whole lot.
Some releases that have come out since we last spoke.
actual music vibe. You know, they say no music comes out.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, there's so many different artists that are out here, from the most popular ones to the ones that are underground to the ones that are kind of in between, that are doing their thing. And obviously last year was a banner year as far as people releasing music.
Yeah.
We hadn't quite seen anything like that in like 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, every year can't be 2018, yo, where everybody's favorite artist drops something.
Yeah, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, your favorite trapper's favorite rapper, your favorite rapper's favorite trapper. Everybody had an album last year. So,
he got guns, she got guns, everybody got guns.
he said, Mr. Damn, Mrs. Damn, the whole damn family.
Yes.
Everybody did. But let's just start here. We're going to talk about a lot. But I also just wanted, at the top of the show, wanted to give a shout. Speaking of families, man, a gentleman that we've been working with a little bit behind the scenes, and hopefully we can cook up some things that we have in the works. But RJ Payne, man, he dropped some news in the past couple days. The Black Soprano family, basically everybody's favorite guy right now, Benny the Butcher, and him. They announced their kind of the linking. Basically, it was almost like a chaining day. He definitely introduced them into the fold.
That's a great analogy.
And now we know that RJ is gonna be affiliated with one of the strongest brands in rap right now, Griselda, man.
Oh man, I'm so glad this is out there, man. You know how bad I wanted to say this, like,
yeah,
yo, Paid is somebody I talk to on a pretty regular basis, and this is something that was in the works for a minute, and I'm glad these dudes finally announced it so that we can talk about it. And then Payne wasted no time, man. He jumped on rubber bands and weight and tore that down.
Sure did. Hey, so we talked about Tana Talk 3 ad nauseum towards the end of the year last year, and even heading into this year.
Some of the hardest shit out.
Still, like, as far as like whatever date that came out to now, it's still probably one of the best projects that came out since that date.
Don't worry, it is.
But shout to the boy Miz. He actually posted something in our chat, the Teach When to Tape fan chat that we have. He posted Tana Talk 2 from like 2009.
It was that long ago?
Yeah, it was 10 years, man.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah, and like just listening to it, I was like, yo, this is hard. Like like how the homie Jimmy, like, yo, it was hard. Like,
yeah, he
was obviously he was younger, whatever, like 10 years ago, but it still was just like, it was like, yo, this dude he didn't just get nice.
No, he's
been nice.
Yeah. He don't swear he's nice.
Yeah.
He knows. So
it's just good to see stuff like that. I mean, that's the one dope thing about the internet. Like, you can just post stuff and things can live, can kind of get a whole life of their own. DJ Drama just put out the original Dream Chasers on Apple.
Yeah.
The other day. I was knocking that this morning and I was just like, yo, like, we're obviously Razzcast, Black Thought, Biggie, like that's our cloth, like our guys that we got with.
Just certain dudes.
Exactly, but like it's just something like this from a charisma standpoint. It's just something about Meek, man, and like we peeped it pretty early from Flamers to for him getting with MMG, but I think Dream Chasers just that pre-studio album version of him really,
yeah, man, and
that's just so raw,
house parties on there,
Boss on there,
the actual song Dream Chasers,
with Siegel,
Middle of the Summer, which is one of my favorite joints,
which is a joint that we
love.
Yeah,
the Tony Story, John.
Story.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, it's just banger after banger on
there. And that's really. It was past prime drama, but it was still like close to where he still was kind of in his bag a little bit. He was past his like peak, but He with just dramatic nigga.
Yeah, he got some joints on there. He's
Yeah.
like, he got some moments. Take him to the plat meet.
Yeah. Like that's when he was just in his super bag, obviously.
Yeah.
He's kind of, he had gotten away from the tapes and stuff, but it really, just listening to that just took me back. I mean, obviously I have it, but
news on that too. Not quite ready to bring that out, but he might not. We might be seeing or I should say hearing some of the Mr. Thanksgiving ad libs coming soon from some of our favorite artists.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll get to talk about that soon.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, I think just seeing the floodgates open, we're seeing a lot of street music or street projects seeing the light of day,
man.
I mean, like the
pretty niggas, man. Like, or you ugly niggas trying to be pretty, man. Like that's really what it is. It's a lot of ashy knuckle niggas wearing little suits, and that shit just gotta stop, man. All the what's that shit? Met Gala ass nigga.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And man, wearing they mom's coffee table and shit. Oh man,
but it is good to see it make it to the to the streaming platforms, because it does give them a chance. Not like they're making any money off of it, but it does at least open up something that maybe a lot of fans weren't privy to.
Don't they get the publisher still off of that though?
I mean, you know how it is. Like, what is it, like 150 streams?
Oh yeah, I mean,
play? And then one play is like 6 cents. Or, I mean, yeah, it's something. I
want
crazy
all my 6 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. I see
no Haley Joel.
No, I see dead people, man. I want all my 6 cents.
No doubt. Hey, man. Speaking of dead people, the one thing about the NBA season, even though it drags on much longer than your football season,
dead people.
Well, eventually people go to sleep with the fishes.
Yeah, definitely.
We've seen, obviously, like I said, we talked about my Spurs going. Kyrie Irving and the Celtics, they've met their demise at the hands of Giannis.
They grabbed their bait.
Luka Brasi was like, "That's it." So you sleep with the fishes. But here we are. We're heading towards that time of year where it's going to be the Final Four teams. It looks like it's going to be the Raptors and Milwaukee, and then more than likely Golden State, and guess what, Denver. If Dame Dollar doesn't pull it off,
I hope Dame can make something happen. But the last couple games, he hasn't been.
They've neutralized them since the 4 overtime.
Yeah, man. Like ever since that game, it's like Denver got even more.
So they got stronger, which
is crazy, right?
It seems like you'll be deflated. That would be like the
I want more.
But here we are, man. What do you think about where we're heading right now? The Sixers obviously are disappointing a lot of people. I don't think people are realizing how young their 2 stars are.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Ben Simmons. I mean, if it was still such a thing as college seniors playing basketball, that's what he would be. He would be getting ready for the upcoming NBA draft. So
that's 22.
That's where we got to look at. And Joe is what? Still, he's 24, 25?
24. He'll be 25, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he
missed 2 seasons just trying to get right.
I mean, if you were going by, old school rules, he would be 2 years in.
Right.
So these dudes are still fairly young. I mean, it's hard to still go by that scale because, I mean, who really plays 4 years that's worth something?
Like Dame's like the poster boy for that in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
He's the best 4-year player in the past 10 years. But and CJ McCollum, same thing. I mean, he's on the same team. He's 4 years.
But no, he played overseas.
He played overseas,
yeah.
But so, I mean, you got 2 of the best guys that played at mid-majors for 4 years playing on the same team together. But What do you where do you think? Because we hip hop show, love Dame's game, love the fact that he's so hip hop, love the fact that he's a stand up dude. Where do you see this ending for him, man? Like we're rooting for him, but it's looking tough.
It's so difficult, man, to try to win in Portland because if you don't draft a star, like we talked about, their two best players were drafted. It's virtually impossible to get a free agent to come up there because they just not. But which I don't understand. I mean, I know there's a salary cap and everything, but doesn't Paul Allen own the Blazers?
Oh, yeah, he did.
So he does or he did.
Well, when he was living.
Oh well, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
He Paul Allen is no longer with them.
Yeah, but yes, he definitely Seahawks.
Yeah,
Blazers. Yes.
The Blazers. I believe that money is still
I don't think that's it though. I see where you're going. I don't think that's it though. I think it is much how you were going down the path of just saying like why isn't Portland like
it's
Nike,
not a destination.
I know, like Nike's headquartered there, like it's obviously a destination for guys on a business tip. Adidas has their feet in the soil there, Under Armour's there just because of the fact that Nike is headquartered there. But I mean, just from a living standpoint, it's along the same lines of a Sacramento or a San Antonio, where it's like these are places where, like Sacramento's a capital, San Antonio has 1.5 million people, but just from the lifestyle standpoint, it just doesn't resonate like a Miami or a Phoenix either.
What I got is just. And this could be just a bad generalization, but it just feels like people don't players don't want to win. If winning doesn't matter as much as it used to a lot of the players right now. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm a big man, I mean, today's big man, a stretch four.
Yeah.
Yo, that's where I want to be. If I'm one of them rebound and defend dudes, or a 3-and-D dude,
yeah, it'd be perfect to be there.
That's where I want to go. I mean, you gotta
like for example, you made a great point because think about like the destinations that are gonna be on the top of Kawhi Leonard's list. Right now, he's killing it in Toronto. So obviously, depending on how they do things, they're gonna be one of the top 3 teams on his list. The Clippers are going to be one of the top 3 teams in his list. And then there may be a wild card in there to be the 3rd team, but Portland won't even get a meeting. And they have 2 of, the best guards in the league. And he would, if you were to put him on that team with those 2, my gosh.
So what do you do?
Yeah. What could you possibly?
He's already cooking by himself. Yeah. I mean, he has some help within Toronto, but it wouldn't be like if you throw him on Portland and then they won't even get. And then Nurkic just coming back. Yeah, they won't even sniff a meeting.
So I mean, that's the one thing about who, like you said, like it definitely has its.
And Kawhi is just a little bit different because he already has a chip. He already has a Finals MVP, so that's a little bit different. Some of the heavyweight dudes that are free agents, most of them, or not most of them, but a good portion of them have already won championships.
Yeah. So the top 3, Kyrie, KD, and Clay, all champions already.
Yeah, and Kawhi.
Yeah,
and
Kawhi.
So you're talking about dudes that's just really going out to do, just trying to establish their legacy as some of the best players, or try to take a destitute franchise to the promised land, with all this talk of the Knicks, or the Clippers,
Mm-hmm. So let me switch gears a little bit. So there used to be a time where I guess like certain MCs or certain groups would be looking to maybe sign or add their name to a certain roster and whatnot. And now it doesn't quite seem like that's the case.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your TDEs, you have your Dreamvilles. These are all ones that are very heavily synonymous with the flagship artist, so to speak.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but it's a little different in music. Well, it's a lot different in music only because you don't need a label
Right.
nowadays
Nowadays, don't.
to get your music heard. Like, in our era, you had to be on a label to really get heard. You had to sign, that's a reason there's songs called Please Listen to My Demo. Because it was that important to get your music in front of,
Powers that be.
the powers that be. Exactly. Today you are the powers that be. If you got a smartphone and a dope 16,
That's
you
all
in
it
there.
takes.
Yeah. I mean, think about some of the artists that are, we talked about Meek earlier. One of his biggest claims is, a young boy rapping, and then uploading it to YouTube and MySpace and all those things, and then catching the eye of different labels that way. But that was him doing that. That wasn't, him, going into the studio, perfecting a demo and then sending it all to the label, hoping they pick it and reach out. That was him being able to do that, and then that allowed him to ultimately do the Flamers and a lot of artists that go on tour without even putting the album out. I mean, look at Chance is another one.
He has an album coming out in July, and he doesn't have a label, and Apple is going to be pushing it like the new iPhone, basically.
Yeah. And you already know. And he's won a Grammy for something that technically isn't an album.
Yeah.
So that is, Drake got nominated for a Grammy for a song on a mixtape.
Right.
So that is, he won a Grammy for a diss song, which if I remember correct, Back to Back isn't on any actual
album. Have like a album home, no.
Yeah, so that was just something he put out as a when him and Meek was doing they back and forth thing. So in the era that we live in with the internet and social media being such a force, it's not nearly as important to have that. But to go back to sports real quick, it's not that simple. You can't chip up without you can't be one man by yourself and chip up. Even all the dudes we consider the GOATs and the at the table of God, shout out to Jim. They all had to link up with somebody else, or somebody else had to link up with them, or they had to get put together. However it happened, it wasn't just them. I mean, you got some rare exceptions like Hakeem and Dirk. And even the second one with Hakeem, he had Clyde, So,
like you said, they had a really good cast: Mario Ellie, Sam Cassell, Robert Ory, Otis Thorpe, like
exactly
Matt Bullard. Like these are guys that were vets or either fresh blood that came in, and they gave Hakeem the parts that he needed.
The others, as they call them inside the NBA.
Yeah, no, it's real though.
Yeah.
What you mentioned, Chance? I mean, album's coming in a couple months. Does he get elevated to another level with this?
I think he kind of is. He's one of those people that.
It's been 3 years since Coloring Book.
Yeah, people love him as a person. So all he has to do is not break. Like if the album is decent, he'll do well.
Yeah.
Because
I think his big thing now at this point was to really get to he's done the merchandising thing to an all great level.
Are the 4 hats coming out?
I don't think so. But I think just the tour, he's done the festivals quite a bit, but I think just the full-fledged tour.
Yeah, the national, international joint.
Right. Get a chance to really see him live.
But I think he can do that now. I think he wanted to handle like some personal stuff. Like he recently got married, had a kid. So all of those
He's one
things.
of the best live performers out of the under 35.
You've seen him, right?
Yeah, man. I saw him going on 2 years ago at Austin City Limits Fest, and he tore it down, man. I mean, like one of the best performances I've seen in the past couple of years.
That's somebody I'd pay some money to see.
I mean, just from the band, the live band, and just all of the theatrics that he put into the show, the music sections and stuff. And he sounded just like the record, like that's something to me, no tracks, nothing. Like he sounded just like the record, not missing
he wasn't
breath.
rapping over himself, right?
Not I mean, he was, like he definitely was well polished in terms of that. So looking forward to seeing how this comes out as far as this being another project from him and seeing just the rollout. Everything roll out.
It's gonna be hard to top Coloring Book, man, with the NBA Finals commercial.
Yeah, that was crazy.
For Apple, that joint.
It's gonna be hard. I'm sure.
Oh no, I'm sure they're gonna make an attempt. I mean, this dude had a Super Bowl commercial with the Backstreet Boys. So I mean, the ends is meeting like.
No, but I guess to date his biggest song is No Problems with Wayne and Chains.
Yeah.
So
again on that one they performed it on Ellen,
Yeah, they performed it on Ellen. So that's what I'm saying. So like I think that may be something that this project will give him, maybe a signature song that's not like it doesn't have features or. So I think people know him and people know that he's nice, but I don't know if people know, like they couldn't really tell you like songs that aren't fans of him,
Yeah.
So
he doesn't. And
like you said with Drake, like off the bat, people were like, "Oh, dude, this thing's best I ever had," or
they'll find something,
But like with him, I mean, signature songs, you're still kind of like,
And not that they're as important as they used to be, but he doesn't have that classic signature visual either.
Mm-hmm.
Where that's like one of the things that there's always that one video. Even with a lot of the newer artists, they got something that they can point to and be like Cardi has her joint, and where they can point to, even if it's not their biggest song, they still have at least one visual. Like when you get to like that quote unquote next level.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He'll definitely.
Drake has it, Kendrick has it, Cole has it. So like that's like seems to be like the trilogy that everybody goes to automatically. So going to that trilogy.
Yeah. I think he's on his way.
Yeah.
We had a few different releases.
Had a lot of goodness.
Eric Sermon.
Bernie.
Yeah. Payne had the intro on that.
Yeah.
Burned it down.
Of course.
It was good to see E-Double. He's always making music. Good to see him, maybe introducing people that people didn't know. And then also just him get his off. I mean, for him to be, pushing 50 and still be rhyming and still be making beats at this type of level is pretty great.
Hard beats too. And then had he pulled up some of the greats, AZ makes an appearance on there. Styles is on there. Nori got a lot of fire on Vernia, man.
Yeah. E-Double. Like
Green Eye Bandit, man.
What can you say, man? He's a lifer, man. He's doing his thing. Someone that we've had honored as far as the hippies. We had Static Selector that won Producer of the Year a couple years ago. He released his live project with Bun B. They made history, basically, just recording a live album with features from other artists, and they documented it and chronicled it so that people could take a peek into the whole recording process. Which is something that people always like to see. So I thought that was really cool for them to actually pull it off, and someone as respected as Bun to to be able to still be doing milestones at this point in his career and making history. Thought that was cool.
Yeah, man, and the album is really really good. I mean, I listened to that this morning, as a matter of fact.
From Fat Joe to Terminology, some of the usual suspects for
Fame made an appearance on there.
West Side, yeah. So salute to Bun, who's in the news obviously for holding it down, holding his fort down,
holding heat,
yeah, down there in Texas, keeping it trilled in a muff. But yeah, man, glad everybody, including his wife and himself, were okay with the situation and went down with that. And I mean, you come at the king,
bet not miss.
Best not miss, man. That's something that
you come at the underground king.
Exactly.
you best not miss.
That's right. So man, glad that just went the way that it did, and no one got harmed, and Bun's okay. Yeah, definitely a legend. Speaking of legends, man, it just seems like every 3 months we're talking about David Styles.
We're talking about all time, man.
We're talking about Dimebag. We talk about Nickelback. We talk about Beloved. We talk about like you said, Ghost of All Time. We talk about this project, that
sprinkling some LOX Lucy's in there.
LOX Lucy's. He
guest spots.
Making a Murderer.
Making Juice.
Verses with Mickey Fax. Super Predator with Joey Badass. Like, just literally the hardest working MC in the game at 44 years old. Like, it's incredible, man. Let's just talk about that for a moment. Like, he's getting better, though. He's getting better.
Dog.
I mean, he already obviously was dope, but I think
last year we could have made a case that, well, we did actually.
We did make a case.
Yeah, we did make a case that he was the MC of the year.
Yeah.
But he's not stopping.
No, I mean, again, like I said, those projects, those 4 projects, now have come within the last 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even say G-Host. G-Host, Beloved, Dimebag, and SP the GOAT, Ghost of All Time. Like, it's like, man, it's like that was just 2018, 2019, 2017. The 7, which was one of our favorite joints, that with Kweli. He had the joint with Burner, Vibes, like
the Lots of EP.
Yeah, like he
and for if you believe what they're saying, there is a Lox album coming in 2019 as well.
We don't believe them. They need more people. But it's all good. Like, they've earned that right from us. They fed the streets enough with enough, like you said, Lox Lucy's, with enough appearances on other people's joints, and just you've never been starving for Lox material.
Yeah, man. Salam Remy did a soundtrack for a Netflix show, and they got the first song on there. It's called their song is called Grass.
Yeah. So so it's like you can't even be mad at them if they don't actually come out with said project.
Hey, man, I'm checking in on my predictions. Rockets looking like they want to come back, but no, man.
The Ghost, though, like, he's just
he again. I'm starting to sense something, man. We again, Lil Fame, man. Fizzy Woe is on the project, man. The Professionals.
Yeah. He hinted that there might be something in the works between him and Fame.
That's listen.
It's a no-brainer, huh?
That's what I like to call theme music right there.
Oh yeah. Oh no, definitely.
That's all me, man.
Yeah, get out the way.
Yeah, man.
Put
him in a body bag.
Yeah, salute to the Ghost. Again, hardest working MC in the
Live your
game.
life by Locks bars, man.
Got to. Only time could tell how the clock ticks. Yeah, but nah,
Keep living off experience.
got to. What else, man? Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
So, made you look is when we talk about, either something that we saw or something that's coming up that we're excited to, to hear is going to make, that's either been greenlit, that we either watched, or that's coming up. So, one of the previous episodes we talked about of Mics and Men.
We getting close.
Man, we are a few days away from one of the most anticipated documentaries in a while, in the past couple of years, I'll say.
Yeah, man.
Just from listen, we looked at the trailers.
Yo,
together, we were like, sign me up immediately.
Yo, just the way that they delivered the trailer, yeah. I was in this joint hype, man. Goosebumps. I was like, I was in it like clan in the front, letting my feet stump.
Yeah. No. Showtime once again. And I think we've talked about this a little bit, but we are huge fans of cable content.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it's okay to watch Blackish. We love the fact that they're on network TV. But imagine if Blackish was on HBO or Blackish was on Showtime.
Be out of here, man. It'd be
so. Just we talk about HBO a lot, but just think about Showtime in the past 12 months, from The Shy to Black Monday to Shut Up and Dribble, Janelle and LeBron, to Mics and Men that's now coming out.
Doing a lot of good work.
Boogie Cousins had his own mini series. That's
Jesus and Marrow over there.
Jesus and Marrow. I mean, they really just like, yo, we about to cater to niggas, man. Like we about to take the W out. It's called Showtime.
Don't forget.
Showtime.
Oh god.
That's how you gotta say it like now.
Don't forget the white niggas on Shameless.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like white trash. But yeah, no, they definitely like they're certainly coming for a particular set of eyes and ears. So I appreciate it, man. I like all the Negro programming.
But I'm all about high quality blackness. So
yeah. So yeah, this Wu-Tang documentary, they've been doing a little bit of promo for it. They did the Tonight Show and they burnt it down.
Triumph is one of them songs that like should never ever be taken for granted, man. Uh-huh. Like just how powerful the song was in '97 when it dropped, and it still commands that same kind of respect now when you hear. Like we often joke, we talked about this in the group chat. Like it's one of them songs that if it come on in the car, you gotta stay on till you hear. Guaranteed made them jump like Rod Strickland, man.
That's it. And I mean, if you really about it, you turn the car off so you don't hear whatever else comes on after it. You just want it to just stop right there. You don't even want to hear nothing else after that. But I got a tit for tat for you real quick.
Oh, let's go.
In '97, as far as beats, was it for you? Was it Benjamin's or was it Triumph? Has that changed since then?
See, I'm one of them dudes. I'm you know me. I was a mixtape dude, so I had already been hearing Benjamin's for a couple years at that point before it officially came out on No Way Out. So for me, Triumph was new. It was new in '97. So that was the one.
And we had kind of really waited, like, to be honest, almost a full 4 years.
Yeah.
To get to the point where
3.5.
Yeah. But yeah, like to get where we had new music from the Wu. So yeah, I remember where I was the first time I heard Triumph. Shout out to the Buddha Brothers. Yeah, nah, they played that joint like maybe like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah,
in a row.
Definitely upon the replay situation,
it's already a 6-minute song, but it was great because the first time I heard it, I had to get my tape. So by the time the third time came around, I was like, all right, I'm ready. And
Yeah,
I
and
got like the
you know where I
underdog.
heard it, the
Yeah,
Radioactive.
yeah.
You know,
So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just something about that. Just everything. Like one of my younger cats, he's much younger than us, but he tries to get into stuff sometimes, and I sent him the clip of them on the Tonight Show. He was like, "Yo, like if I wasn't paying attention, like I would have thought that was like a hologram of Old Dirty. Like if I wasn't watching the clip, like he was like, "Yo, who is that?" And I was like, "Yo, that's Little Dirty. Like that's his son." He was like, "Oh, that's dope."
yeah,
he
yeah,
he was like, "Oh, that's dope."
like because there was literally nobody that you could get to
Yeah,
replace that dude.
nah, nobody.
I mean that's the only way that it could be done. In like
Mm-hmm.
to his credit, he has every mannerism, every. I'm sure he studied it, and then also some of it's
It's just
just
in his
genetics.
DNA.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
quick update.
This can't be life.
Yeah, KD.
This can't be life.
KD.
Twitter is a Twitter right now.
Yeah, yeah.
This can't be life, yo.
he may have
Yo,
ended his season.
this can't be life.
Uh,
Ooh.
see what you done did, Aisha.
Yeah. Hey, shout to Skills. He had one of the best reactions to. We're gonna talk about that next. He had one of the best reactions to the whole Aisha Curry nonsense, whatever you want to call it. He said, first of all, somebody was just like, if the Rockets were really about it, they would play ABC during every timeout, at the next game. But he was just like, yeah, that's gonna be me and my 4 homies tomorrow. He did that in his Insta story. That was
man.
cool. I wanted to get your take on it just because obviously as married guys, we know certain things that maybe the general public isn't thinking about, but we don't know it from the level of us being multimillionaires yet, and how that affects
Yeah, no, I like
your
that.
whiz. Yeah. You saw the clip.
Yeah.
Did you find anything wrong with what she was saying from a granular standpoint? Just her saying that if there weren't cameras there and they were having a girls brunch type of situation and the cameras weren't on, and she said that, does that statement hold less weight than if she does it on a nationally disseminated platform like the Red Table Talk?
No, because that's every single woman in the history of the earth.
Of civilization.
Yeah, and for that matter, every single dude, everybody wants to be wanted, whether you act on it or not. Everybody wants to be like, like they want to know that they still got it. I mean, like if you walking down the street and a young John be like, okay, oh yeah, I mean, or don't even say it, but she just looked like she might be about that, then you like, yeah. Like, it's a little ego boost. And I'm sure the same thing applies to her. If she walks by and now, I'm sure out of respect, a lot of people don't do it because she is married. Also, a lot of what a lot of women that have fame and money often come across is a lot of dudes won't approach them, not because they don't think they're attractive, they just don't feel like they have anything that they can offer them. Because I mean, like if you
some bubble gum and
yeah, they offer them a big L line, not a Jay-Z line, a big L line. But it I've heard numerous famous women say like, dudes don't talk to me because I don't know, some they say they're intimidated.
Charlie Theron just got finished saying that. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, yo, shoot your shots, niggas.
Yeah. She didn't say niggas, but that would be a whole nother issue.
She basically said it. She just like, listen. She just like, yo, I'm trying to get
that movie that she's in with Seth Rogen is like somebody that long shot where somebody had to shoot their shot because a lot of those women are obtainable or potentially obtainable, but you know
situation, Phil, where it's just like you think that this chick is on this pedestal, and whether you either had a class with her or you rode the bus with her one day, or you would just happen to just get her alone, just away from the regular everyday life that everybody sees her living, and then she's just as you've been to a cookout and you've seen the chick that everybody likes, and you get a chance to just get that audience with her away from her normal thing, and you're just like, oh shit, she's mad cool.
Absolutely, and I just have to explain this so people can understand it for the women that do listen to us. It's not a thing of disrespect to take them off the pedestal. It's just a matter of treating them like a normal person. Like a lot of times when just think about the actual words, putting something on the pedestal. It's put there. You don't touch it. You just kind of look at it from afar. You admire it, but you don't interact with it. You don't do anything with it. It's like having a baseball card and putting it in the hard plastic thing and then putting it up, on the shelf and then, forgetting about it.
Like for example, like for anybody that has siblings or anybody that has older siblings or siblings that are around their age, like, or even cousins for that matter, like that you grew up with, like, how you look at your cousin and your sister. It's just, she just who she is. Like,
yeah,
that's just who she is. Not a big deal. But to the outside world, she may be the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yep.
And if they knew what you knew, they probably wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Because you've seen her, without makeup, or you've seen her, at Thanksgiving, coming out running
with
about
a headscarf.
Yeah. But but you know what I'm saying, like,
of course.
But I think the thing about Mrs. Curry, I think the thing that kind of just rubbed people the wrong way is they're saying like, well, had it been him saying something like that, well, of course, yeah, there's always a double standard. Like, he can't come out there and be like, man, I'm not getting enough groupies.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you're not. Like, and you shouldn't be.
Yeah. And because he is like they're there.
Right.
Just because we don't see them, they're there. Like,
they're definitely there. And she knows that. And I think she respects and trusts him enough to know that he's probably not doing what 95% of the rest of his coworkers or colleagues or counterparts, peers, whatever you want to call them, are doing. Allegedly. So I just thought it was just interesting. I think she's somewhat of a marked target. Whenever she says something, she's very polarizing. Like,
I was about to say, that's another thing. People, for whatever reason,
kind of jelly.
There's that.
They're on this pedestal of being the perfect couple, perfect family, and people don't like stuff like that, so they often like try to tear people down. They dug up one of her old tweets where she was just like, geez, I'm taken already, from like 2011. And they're just like, okay, so which one is it? I'm like, come on, guys, this was 8 years ago.
Yeah. if your shit is exactly the same as 8 years ago, then you doing something wrong.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
get it. I get why she said it, because again, every single. I mean, if the waitress at Hooters be like,
hey, the ranch or blue cheese is on me, baby. Thanks.
Word.
I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Nah, I wouldn't have had one either.
I wouldn't even. I'm just like, yo, like it really doesn't matter.
And in a way, you want your lady to be wanted. You don't want her to act on it, obviously, but you want people to be like,
whatever it's going to take for that, for her to feel how she needs to feel. So be it, man. I mean,
yeah. So she can bring it home to me.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I saw it. People are like, oh man, but again, it doesn't seem like he has the ability to respect it or check it. I think he just has to kind of just keep it quiet.
now there's some other, I don't know, I haven't got any confirmation on it. There's some other parts of this that have come out, and I don't know if it's real or not. You know how the internet takes things and runs with it.
Yeah.
That she may or may not have said. If those are true, that's a whole different thing.
Oh yeah, sure.
So
like Gabrielle Union was just saying, like, it basically is big bank take a little bank.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's big bank take a little bank at their house. I don't think, no matter how many dollars he has, I don't think.
Yeah, their situation's different too. Yeah. It's
she's running the show.
It's one of probably the closest things to a normal relationship that you'll get with somebody with that kind of money.
Right.
I mean, so
yeah,
because they've been together for so long. Yeah,
leave her alone. That every time she says something, people go ballistic and
I think it's just something. I think it's the jelly, and I think people look at her like, what do you really have to complain about?
Right. Yeah, that's it. Right. Exactly. Like, you don't have
like problems. That's what you know.
You don't have real problems. Like, come on. Yeah, and again, they're kind of from that, like, deaconess
camp.
yeah. Those church camp kids, man. You can't really put too much into what they're so gone sometimes in terms of the secular world that a lot of us live in.
Secular world is always gonna be a funny term, no matter what.
Yeah, but
like, you mean just the world?
The world.
Yeah.
World.
The world.
But like the secular world that a lot of us live in versus what they're used to is just not. A lot of the values that they have are so extreme to some of us.
Yo, you ever had a chick tell you she don't listen to secular music?
Of course I have.
Yo, that's the funniest shit ever.
And
I was like,
and then she turned on Jagged Edge. I was like, wait, what?
she didn't know it. He about to
will agree.
Oh man.
But no, she didn't quite say she didn't listen. She was more so like she does, she only listens to this, that, and the third, but she loved Jagged Edge. I was like, oh,
no,
okay,
let's get married.
Yeah.
No, I had a chick say she don't listen to secular music, and I was like, and it was like the first time I had heard people say it, but I wasn't 100% sure what it meant at the time. I mean, this is way back, and I was like, what do you mean? I was like, so you like, but you don't listen to like I had like really no cause, like, what, you just don't listen to the radio? She's like, no, I don't listen to music unless it's gospel.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, okay. I'll be right back.
GP, are you with me?
No, you heard the cartoon door slam drive away, Homer Simpson style.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Got a couple more things to talk about, Filmatic. Hey man, salute to the homie Jab, man. He always lets us know when he checks out the show. Salute to him.
We definitely appreciate it, man. All the new listeners too. We definitely appreciate it. Rocking with the Heat Holderz on Tissue and the Tape,
yes,
man. The official Tissue Hip Hop podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yo, one of the albums, before we get to the next thing, one of the albums that I definitely wanted us to mention too, Schoolboy Q, man. Every time I'm in the streets, man.
Yeah.
That's a great ad lib. Such a great ad lib, yo. But the boy Groovy Q has a new John
Yeah.
out. New Heat. What you think, man?
So I like Q just because obviously anybody that's listened to Habits and listened to Trials and Tribulations, he was a different. He had a different style back then. Like it was
absolutely.
It was very just West Coast, just whatever you want to call it. And then for this last trio of albums here, Blank Face, Crash Talk, and of course, Oxymoron. His mic presence, man, that's the thing that always just sticks out to me with him. Obviously, he can flow, but it's just certain people just are able to make certain sounds and manipulate the words a certain way to where it's fun to listen to. And that's how I feel.
He's almost like an instrument.
Yeah, that's how
on the track.
Just with the way he bends the words, the way he kind of pronounces things, and it's very California, but at the same time, it's still very entertaining to listen to. Half the time I don't even know what he's talking about sometimes, but it just doesn't even matter.
He's a great song maker. Like Kendrick is more lyric driven.
Yeah,
he's a great song maker as well, but it's lyric driven. Q is more about making dope songs.
Yeah.
And there are lyrics there, of course, but it's definitely I think for him it's let's make a dope song first.
That's his stuff rings out at the festivals and the live shows because it's so interactive.
I can 100% vouch for that.
Yeah.
Saw them on the championship tour, and he killed it, man.
It's a different feel. Like with the Kendrick, again, he does have some of those moments, and he does switch things up, but it is still very lyric driven. Sometimes that doesn't always translate, amongst thousands of people in a live setting. But with Q, it just seems like he writes his music for the performance almost.
Yeah. Sometimes. I could attest to that because like at the show, his performance was what like the crowd got hyper for Kendrick's, but he took the energy from on a like a 3 to like a 23.
Yeah.
Just in terms of getting the crowd hype and just keeping it moving. Like he just hit song after song, and it just was like, as you said, like he made them knowing he was going to be performing these on tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen him open up for Kendrick, and definitely he elevated it. So by the time that Kendrick came on, it was definitely a testament to how good Q did. But yeah, man, I think again. Was good of him to, just take some time. I think he originally had a different date for the album. In light of the Nipsey tragedy, I understand that he may have pushed it back a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I think this at this point we all are still at a point of healing, and just reflecting on, what has transpired, but. Obviously it's just good to just see some of the music, especially from guys that either knew him or, from the same area, to be able to come out and, just either share the stories or, just, let people know that, people are still thinking about Nip and people won't stop.
Absolutely.
And, that's definitely something Q has conveyed in his promo runs. And, I just thought it was just a good rollout overall. And just a good project, something to kind of really get the summer started, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah. Another one of our guys, man, official Heat Holder alumni, Planet Asia is another one that dropped something just recently.
Yeah.
Initials on my jewelry.
Yeah, he's always dropping, man.
Always dropping. When we talk about Styles P and the work ethic, Planet Asia's right there with him. in terms of putting out, you know, numerous amounts of quality work, you know. So just definitely wanted to give PA a shout out because that joint is smoking. And bye. I know we're going to be doing something, bringing the people something very soon where we kind of deep dive on these albums, that like kind of like, you know, not a separate podcast, but like a an extension of Tissue and the Tape. You want to tell them about it, or
Yeah. So some of the excuse me, the projects that we mentioned just now, uh, you know, we often we give our take on things and we kind of move on, but we wanted to, like Phil said, give a deep dive and also, you know, just put our stamp on it as far as it being official Tissue, but also, you know, the full listen is something that we've talked about since the inception of the show. And of
absolutely
course, the full listen is when, you know, you don't just give the hot take. You don't just say something's a classic
the greatest
after,
thing I've ever heard? There's nothing better.
yeah, or, you know, I mean,
They need to stop making music after this.
right. You know, you actually kind of sit with the album, how people have done since music has come out. But yeah, you know, you listen to it in the car, you listen to it, you know, in your headphones, and then also you just listen to it either in the gym or in the kitchen, or, you know, just vibing out with someone else that either has some commonalities as far as your taste in music. In your case, you know, you listen to a lot of music with your wife. In my case, I'm either listening to music, you know, with you kind of vicariously, or, you know, just listening to it just period. But
Yeah,
you know, I think the full listen really encompasses kind of those three things where, you know, the whip is obvious, like
gotta listen to it in
Elliot
the
Wilson
car.
got the car test for a reason, you know, like gotta give it the car test. And then just the headphones, you know, where you're listening to certain things as far as the mix, ad libs, you know, the way that it pans from mono to stereo, from, you know, from
Little
speaker to speaker.
subliminals.
Yeah, there's certain things that you can't always catch when you're doing other things, but you're
Yeah,
just giving it your full attention in the headphones. And then ultimately, the third factor is, of course, just finding someone, you know, that either you've listened to it with, or either you're able to, you know, kind of trade bars about it after they've listened to it. That's what we really consider being the three parts of a full listen. And you know, that's what we're planning to actually just extend, like Phil said, as far as episodes, chronicling certain albums, whether it be, you know, old, not so old, or, you know, recent, such as some of the albums that we named, such as Vernia, uh, Trill Static. Those are some of the ones that came to mind. But
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean,
Ghost of All Time.
Ghost of All Time, definitely. So be on the lookout for that. You know, we just want to just be able to give everybody quality, you know, jewels from the Heat Holderz, and you know, either persuade you to give something you know, another look or a deeper look. You know, that's always a plus in our eyes. So
Absolutely.
um, as we head towards the end of this show here, um, we just wanted to again give a shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us since day one. We recently hit 5 years, April
Yeah, man.
19th.
We kind of just kind of like coasted on into that. That's like when
Yeah,
you um we way we feel, man. We got so many shows to look forward to. It's a big deal because we've been doing this for, you know, a long time, and that's big salutes to you and all the people that have rocked with us along the way. Of course, G's, Reem, G, the homie, you know, War Room Sports, of course. But you know, it's another day at the office, bro.
yeah, no, I mean it is. I guess what's special about the day is we kind of share it with Illmatic.
Yeah,
So I mean
because our
that's
first
always good.
episode was the 20th
Yeah,
anniversary of
yeah.
Illmatic.
So that was the first episode. So the 5 year anniversary, you know, it was the 25th anniversary of Illmatic. So, you know, it was just, you know, that's not a bad I share my birthday with Prodigy and Nelly. That's not a bad way to do it. So
Yeah, I don't share my birthday with any MCs, but I share my birthday with Hugh Hef
yeah,
and Rudy.
yeah, that's not bad. That's not
Shout
bad
out to
company.
Keisha Knight. Puya.
Yeah, yeah, that's not bad company at all. But again, no, we just wanted to just let everybody know that we made it 5 years. We've been actually doing Hip Hop 365, going on,
Since 20 what?
We started that.
12?
Yeah, we started that January 1st, 2012. So I mean, we're heading towards what, 7.5 years of
Yeah,
that, and basically Hip Hop 365 is just the all encompassing, just us
yeah,
doing tissue in the tape, us doing things on our social media platforms, and then ultimately the infinite playlist that we did
yeah.
to start out. So, I mean, again, we've put in quite a bit of work over the past 7.5 years.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, we nice, man.
yeah, and again, if anybody questioned if we were doing it for the love, uh, you definitely don't have to look very far.
Oh no, there's a lot of
There's
love.
a lot of love because it's not a whole lot of checks. But
Man.
again, I mean that'll come, and
Yeah.
we're built for this. It's not something that we were planning to do overnight, but we wanted to make sure that everybody just knew, like we're in this for the long haul. We do this because we love it.
We
We
do this
do it.
for real.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we do it because we love the culture and we love everybody that's associated with it. Um, I want to give a salute out to Common. He's got a new book out. Anytime anybody from our particular respected ilk of MCs ventures out, whether it's film, TV, or books, literature, we'd love to see that. Just because if you can MC, you can write a book, you can write a movie,
Yeah,
you can score, a film.
you
But
you can
yeah, man,
narrate a book,
yeah,
which
narrate a book.
I think a lot of MCs should get into, just like the ones with those voices.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. MC Light, man, whoever her agent is, she just like, listen, we need you on Maybelline, Pizza Hut.
Yeah, yo.
Uh,
Get you out here.
North Awards,
She should be the voice of Siri.
right?
That'd be all that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I would, if they were like, yo, you have to pay an extra $5 to get the MC Light Siri, I'd
Oh,
do
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Only Love.
Yeah.
Shout to Moni.
Oh, somebody that never has to worry if somebody's checking for.
Yeah, no, she can get all the flowers.
Yeah, yo.
But Common,
I'm in the middle right now. I'm where she at.
hey now.
Word.
Let Love Have the Last Word is a memoir by Common. He actually was just in town. My homie went to the book signing, got copped the book. Got to have a quick moment with Common.
Nice.
He said he was a cool dude, so that's always good to hear. But Common really kind of delved into some pretty serious topics. One of the topics that he talked about in the book, just for me, just reading just a sample, was the fact that he experienced, some abuse at the hands of someone when he was younger. He was violated. So, he kind of chronicled that. And that's something he's given us everything from, his upbringing to, some of the things that he struggled with as an adult. But yeah, he never actually shared this. So he felt that this was the time. Did that in the book. So I'm looking forward to digging in and reading the book. Obviously we'll add this to our tissue and the tape, book list for people to check out. And hopefully we can confer about this, soon. But salute to the homie Lonnie Lynn, Rashid. Anytime, like I said, anytime we can get books from somebody from our culture, man, we're all about it. I still haven't seen Endgame, Filmatic.
Come on, man. We gotta.
I mean,
you have to know what happened at this point.
I don't though. I mean, people have been super respectful. I haven't really been looking either, so I mean that's helpful. But I'm hoping that I'm gonna get a
Now I gotta
chance.
change the name of the episode. I was gonna get on here so we could, because I figured like right now we talking about it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I'm gonna get a chance to see it. Maybe. See, this weekend's tough. Got the wife's birthday weekend slash Mother's Day.
Time out.
Yeah.
Draymond.
Time out.
Draymond's a fucking idiot.
Oh yeah. We know that.
Okay, back to the regular schedule program.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. I'm hoping that I'll get a chance to see it in the next couple weeks, but I guess by the time I see it, Game of Thrones might actually already be off the air. I mean, it's only 2 weeks left, so you know. My suggestion for everybody: get your Mother's Day out the way so that when 9:00 Eastern hits, you've done God's work. You've done everything.
So I'm fortunate enough that my better half is such a huge fan of the show as well. That
that's gonna be a part of her celebration.
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely a part of her celebration.
The treats on deck. Same here. I mean, mine will be ready to watch. I think we've gotten now to the point where there's so many holes in the plot and so many things that we wish they did differently. Well, that damn Brandon Stark, man, I could just smack his nose off his face.
Smack his face. But no, one of my dudes pointed out something very key. He was like, since George R.R. Martin isn't writing, right? They've already passed him. Yeah. That's why we're not seeing some of the intricate dialogue, like especially like from characters like Daenerys and Tyrion, where especially Tyrion, who had always had like these witty soliloquies and diatribes that so memorable from the earlier seasons. Well, you take such a great writer who takes his time and pins those things.
It's ready.
Yeah. There's no more source material, so a lot of this is on the fly.
TV. My wife is someone who she just watched 67 episodes in 3 months.
So I bet you, being that it's so fresh for her, I bet you she can really, really tell the difference.
Oh, she'd be saying stuff. I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's right, that did happen. Okay, yeah. You don't have to like think about it. It's fresh in her mind.
You are correct.
You're right. But she's like, she could just tell just the first 4 seasons were just fire. She was just like 5 was pretty good. And she's just like, you could just tell when the TV dudes.
And 6 is when the TV
like,
dudes.
You could tell the TV dudes just took over from there because it's super TV. She's like, there's no way you could have had the long night and then so many of these characters made it through when that was never George's twist. George was like, anybody
can get it. Anybody can get it. And I was expecting to see like somebody eating Chinese food out the carton. Yeah. Because that's like just all the regular stereotypical TV show, having a bag of groceries with the lettuce and with the fucking roughage sticking out the top. All the other movie tropes that you always see. Right.
Yeah, so it's getting to that point now where it is a little campy. The story's a little shaky.
Yeah, I mean, I've been rolling this time. I just hope they end it out. Don't soprano me, bro.
Yeah, please don't. And I don't trust these guys, DB Weiss and David Benioff.
Never trust a dude with initials as his first name, yo. Reporter. Yeah.
This is my all-time favorite.
Yo, when I see that dude,
that's my all-time favorite name.
It's on site, yo.
RW.
Yo, he
those two letters that should never be initialized like that.
No, he thought he was that dude. Yo. You couldn't tell him.
Burton Hanks Jr., man.
Yo, you couldn't tell him he wasn't prime time, yo.
Yeah. But yeah, man, interested to see how the Thrones. One last thing before we go. I just want to get your take on this. Like, when you see the memes and stuff like that the next day, that's some of the best part
Yeah.
parts of having a show that is of such colossal like viewership. What show could we possibly have that could fill this void like that exists right now?
That exists right now?
Like I know people like Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead and
No,
whatnot.
they're not that. They've already lost the zeal, both of them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you no.
Billions is of that, but it doesn't have enough violence in it.
And America loves violence. Also, it's too smart for a lot of people. They're not gonna, even though they dumb, because finance is super
right.
Super
I still don't know
intricate.
what shorting a stock is, and they talk about it every episode.
We'll talk after this because we could just feel ourselves losing listeners if we start going into that. But I'll break that down. But basically, Billions actually dumbs it down a lot, and they do a great job of helping you to understand what's going on, because that world is super technical, and it's one of them things, if you know, you know. And if you don't belong here anyway.
Right.
So the fact that they get that show off and explain it and get it
make it
interesting and entertaining is a credit to the writing on that show. It's one of the best shows, if not the best show on TV. But because it's finance and it's there, to your point, there is not a lot of violence, and there's
ain't enough cheeks on the joint either.
Yeah, that not enough sex, not enough, but not even necessarily violence. There's not enough death on the show. That's what kind of drives, like, if you look at all the shows that people really, really love, people die. I mean, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, The Wire, Sons of Anarchy, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. When you get into these dramas, yes, love. That was dope.
Spoiler alert.
Oh man. Ray Donovan. There's so many shows where you could just name that, where when you talk about dramas, you know, where people get murked, and you don't have that on Billions, where you know, where it would even be logical that the main characters would die. So,
or even and such, like,
because as much as it is a drama, it has a lot of comedic aspects to it.
You gotta really have a different type of sense of humor, though. Like you said,
yeah. It's very smart. It's very highbrow, but there's a lot of comedy in there. Especially like with like Wags.
Wags. But Paul Giamatti, man, best actor on TV.
Yeah, if it's not him, it's the other actor on the show, Damian Lewis.
The first time I heard dude talk, I was like, "Oh man," he was like, "And hither there." as I moved the cross.
That's like nothing tops for me Stringer Bell. The first time I heard Stringer Bell, but you know who else is our man Franklin on Snowfall?
Yeah, I heard him talk too.
Yeah.
That surprised me too.
Yeah. And shout out to Dub C, who's his gangster coach.
Yeah.
That's all that, man.
That is dope. But okay, so we might not be this void might not be filled.
No, that show doesn't exist yet.
Something will eventually.
I mean, there's always, but TV does have those lulls where because when Sopranos went off, what was there? The Wire was the next one, but I don't think everybody got into The Wire. I mean, we did. I mean,
It's still because it was it kind of overlapped though. So by the time Sopranos was ending, The Wire was heading towards its last 2
And then
seasons.
like Sons and Breaking Bad?
Yeah, Sons of Breaking Bad. They definitely were on the come up, but
Yeah.
it didn't reach the cult status until maybe midway through third
Yeah.
season.
Because I know we didn't even get in the Sons until season. We saw the first episode of season 3 and we was like,
Right.
yo.
Yeah.
And then we went back and
the TV started to change around that time.
Yeah, that was like where, you know, a lot of on-demand viewing and, you know, not watching it at the, you know, live.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
Lost was kind of in there too, as far as like appointment.
yeah, a lot. I was never a huge Lost fan, but Lost was one of those shows where that was like had cult following. But like right now today, Game of Thrones and to some extent, a small extent, but to some extent, The Walking Dead, the only where people are watching them in real time. Pretty much everything else is getting watched. I mean, shit, even as great as we just said, Billions was, you can watch it early. They already know. They know that technically it comes on the same time as Game of Thrones.
Right.
But they know there's no chance in hell.
And they're trying to beef up their streaming.
Yeah. So you can watch Billions at midnight on, you know, when the clock strikes 12.
Yeah.
You know, from Saturday going into Sunday, you can watch Billions. So you can get it out the way early. And, you know, because they know like between NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs, and if that's your kind of thing, and the final season of Game of Thrones, a huge chunk of their potential viewing audience is going to be other places.
Right.
So
very interesting that it goes up that day. I mean, I know they got like the first 5 episodes off before Game of Thrones came back, but yeah, very interesting that they chose to come back around this time. I guess you just say.
Well, I mean, this is the time that they always were on, but they realized like this is a cultural phenomenon, and we just
what can we do?
Yeah. It's like when the Super Bowl is on and you show reruns, or you do some programming for halftime. I mean,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, we're at a good time. We're looking forward to some of the upcoming releases again. Shout out to Del P out there doing his thing.
Yeah, man. That was one of the hardest working dudes. Don't think we don't see you, man. We be seeing you. Definitely one of the hardest working dudes. Another one of our guys, King Shamps, is on his way. We will be chopping it up with him very soon. Road to Peru will be here at the end of the month. So definitely big shout outs to him. Another good and the kid just had a birthday, so big shout out to him on that. Shout out to young 24 Jaded, who also had a birthday. Shout out to her.
All the tourists out here. Salute.
Yeah, man. Tourist season.
Yeah. Man, on that note, man, salute to everybody all around the world, all the beautiful women, all the intelligent gents, everybody, all the B-boys, B-girls, everybody that's out there representing the culture, representing yourselves, representing exactly what you love to do. Salute to y'all. Salute to you, Philmatic.
Salute to you, brother.
I'm Philmatic 365, even when I'm by myself. I'm War Room Sports Podcasting Network, even when I'm by myself. And
yes.
And most importantly, man, I'm hip hop. You know, 365, even when I'm by myself, man. So, man, so salute to everybody. On that note, Philmatic, take us out with the fader.
Okay, gang. Yo, we're back at it doing what we do, and only thing that's right to say is, man, the boys in the hood are always hard, and we prior to our last episode, or I should say after our last episode, we lost a great uh force in Black culture in the passing of John Singleton. So definitely wanted to give a shout out to not only his family and his friends, but all of his fans, us included. I mean, just think about the cultural impact he's had on us in, but with some of the best films, not just Black films, but the best films that have been made. Starting with, of course, Boys in the Hood, and doing Higher Learning and Baby Boy and Poetic Justice, things that he got Tupac and Janet Jackson together, man, on the screen, man. He's the one that inspired Ice Cube to pursue acting. We don't get so many great things from Ice Cube. Cube Vision is not a thing if it's not for John Singleton.
Yeah.
He helped Taraji P. Henson get her start. He helped, Cuba Gooding, get off to the role that will ultimately lead him to an Oscar. Regina King, who's another Oscar winner, who got, big roles from him, Tyra Banks. So I can go on and on and on, and of course he was hip hop working with Cube, Busta Rhymes, Tupac, later on with Snoop and Tyrese, and oh man, it's a huge loss. Him working on Snowfall, which we mentioned earlier, another great show. So I just wanted to give our condolences on behalf of all the Heat holders and all our listeners, and definitely wanted to say rest in power to film and TV legend John Singleton. And on that note, we're going to do it how we always do it. We work for the money, we live for the love, and we die for what we believe in. This is Tissue and the Tape. And if you don't do nothing in your life, respect Heat Holderz.
Early.